Whenever we face difficult situations in life, the first thing we do is probably ask, why me? I've been a good person. Why is God challenging me? But the thing is, there's no one who's free of challenges. Everybody goes through something which is difficult. And that pain transforms them. It teaches them something and it makes them grow. Today, I wanted to talk about the art of surrendering to God. This is a story I heard from my spiritual mentor, and she shared this little story to explain that. So she said there was a king and his minister who were very close friends, and both had opposing views on life. The king wanted to control everything around him, and he thought he was responsible for how things happened around him. So he was the hero of his own life, right? So when he was going through the forest, he got bitten by a snake uh, on his little finger. And he noticed that the little finger immediately turned blue. So he was left with no choice but to cut off the little finger to save himself so that the poison doesn't spread. So after he did that, the king was lamenting, saying, I'm such a good king, I'm such a good person. Why did God do this to me? This is not fair, this is not right. For which the minister said, whatever happens, happens for the best. So you just need to surrender and just accept that maybe something worse would have happened, but fortunately, it's just a little finger that's gone. The king got very upset and he said, how dare you talk to me like this? How dare you say that it's just a little finger? And it means a lot to me. And if you think that I should just surrender to God after he's done something like this, I am not okay with that. And he was so pissed off with the minister that he actually just threw him into the dungeons and he went on into the forest to hunt. And while his friend, the minister, was in the dungeons, the king and a set of his soldiers had gone into the forest and they got surrounded by some tribals who caught hold of the king and took him to the tribal leader. And the tribal leader said, oh, we've got a king for sacrifice, so let us sacrifice him to our gods, and the gods will be mighty pleased. But then they realized that he had a little finger which was missing, which made him imperfect for sacrifice. So they actually just released him. And then the king went back to his palace and he released his friend and he realized the truth behind what he said, that whatever happens, happens for the best. Had he not lost his little finger, he would have lost his life on that day. But then the king was curious. He was like, don't you think God was being unfair to you? You got thrown into the dungeons for